On this episode of $9.99, we're not spending any money. Plus, where in New York City am I? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. It's in there really good. Hey everyone, I'm Dave Evans. Welcome to $9.99, a show that takes you around the city, shows you all the neat things you can do for under 10 bucks. But today, we're getting rid of our price tag because we're talking about volunteering. We're here at the Staten Island Greenbelt, and before I tell you what you can do to volunteer here, let's take a minute to reflect on an extraordinary time for New York City where we relied upon thousands of volunteers to clean ourselves out of a big mess. In the fall of 2012, the city was battered by the worst storm in over a century, Hurricane Sandy. The coastal areas in the 5 boroughs were hit hard, with Staten Island and Brooklyn seeing the worst of the devastation. We revisited a neighborhood we featured last season, Coney Island, and caught up with Brooklyn's borough president Marty Markowitz to get his thoughts on how the area has been rebounding from the storm.
It's unbelievable, the resilience that Brooklyn and Coney Island and New York City have shown, but it was a different story. October 30th and November 1st and 2nd, I visited not only the boardwalk, but visited parts of Brooklyn and Coney Island, and this area was truly among the most battered. Everything was flooded. It was like something we've never experienced. Now, we've had storms before in Brooklyn, but this Sandy was nasty, really nasty.
New Yorkers quickly banded together after the storm. Little by little, coastal tourism and residential areas are re-emerging in time for the summer, in part because of a special group of people. No doubt, so much work went into getting us back to where we are today. Volunteers played a pretty crucial part in that. Tell me about that.
Well, volunteers played a key part in it. The sea of humanity that I saw, and I'm talking about folks in their teens and 20s and 30s and 40s that in droves came out of their homes throughout different sections of Brooklyn. No one told them to do it, they did it. Equally across the city, New York City depends on volunteers.
Volunteers who gathered clothes, hot food, water, and other supplies to give to those devastated by the storm. A helping hand to the residents who needed it most. But these volunteers also gave back to the city. Side by side with thousands of Parks Department employees, they shoveled sand, raked debris, and helped fix the boardwalks. Speaking of boardwalks, many volunteers throughout the city's coastal communities pitched in to bring their beloved beaches back. So for people at home that are unsure if Brooklyn's beaches are open, what do you got to say?
Look, as we speak right now, there's the sand, there's the Atlantic Ocean, here's the boardwalk, there are people. And to prove it, I have my swimsuit right on, and here I go. So come on down to Coney Island and Brighton Beach, the Sheepshead Bay as well, the entire southern end of Brooklyn, and it's very, very exciting. This is going to be a great summer. Did you hear that, Mother Nature? Great summer.
Right, thanks so much. All of New York City's 8 beaches are back thanks in parts to the efforts of dedicated volunteers and residents who love their communities and care deeply about their city. Whatever you love, there are opportunities for you to get involved and give back your time. But some commitments are more involved than others. Not too far from Coney Island and across the Verrazano Bridge is the famous Staten Island Zoo, located at 614 Broadway in West Brighton. Admission, of course, is under $9.99, but if you volunteer here, not only is it free, the experience is priceless. Every day, volunteers educate inquisitive zoogoers and school groups about the origins of exotic species like snakes, tortoises, lizards, and more. These volunteers are known as docents, and they go through extensive training to not only educate the public, but also to care for these critters. But I had to know more about this unique volunteer opportunity. So I decided to spend the day with the team.
So guys, this is Dave, and Dave wants to learn what it is to be a docent and work here at the zoo.
This has got to be one of the coolest possible ways to volunteer in the city, so I'm excited to be with you guys.
This is the best way of volunteering, and you're going to experience a whole lot today. You're going to love it. So let's go to your spots and let's have fun.
All right.
First things first, these guys need to eat. Maybe we'll start with the bearded dragon. Don't want him to be mad.
Hey, he's checking me out.
And today he's getting a gourmet salad of fruits and vegetables.
This looks delicious. Thank you so much, Erin.
Yeah, it's actually just like a person's salad if you wanted to eat it.
What's the powdery stuff?
This powdery stuff is just calcium.
I haven't had lunch yet. This looks very good. So before
all
I
fresh.
eat it, we should get it probably into a tank here. Anything I should know about the bearded dragon?
No, right now he's not upset at all. If he were upset, he'd actually have a very black beard.
Oh, really?
And he'd
It changes
be puffed
color.
up.
Ooh.
Yes.
And then what will he do? Bite you?
He won't really do anything to you. He's actually eyeing up his salad right now.
Hello, bearded dragon. He's smart. He goes right for it. Oh, that looks good.
Our turtles, they are omnivores or carnivores, so we have to give them egg because it actually helps with calcium and with the meat substitute that they need.
You order an egg salad? Here it is. Are you shy? You could eat in front of me. All right, maybe he'll eat later.
Yeah.
The rest of these guys need to eat too. Well, maybe not all the rest.
I noticed that some of the cages say go and then some say stop.
Yes.
What does that mean?
They'll actually say stop because they just ate. Snakes, since they only eat once every couple weeks, if they were to get jostled around too much, they could get an upset stomach and get sick.
Lose their lunch.
Yes.
So tell me more about the docent program. What does it mean to be a docent?
Because we're a very small zoo and you don't have a lot of employees, you need those volunteers to do most of the work that a zoo is supposed to do, and that's teach. A lot of zoos nowadays actually don't have volunteers handling their animals. So we have a very special program here, and docents are able to do a lot of things that most normal people wouldn't be able to do.
Besides getting one-on-one animal time, prospective docents get schooled on how to talk animals with the public. A rigorous 10-week course trains a docent on zoology and proper care and handling of the animals.
It's a hard course. You have homework, you have tests, all that kind of stuff, just like when you were in school. But you get to learn a lot about the animals, and that's what prepares you to actually go out there and teach people.
I really wanted to see these volunteers in the wild, so I caught up with docents Ron and new graduate Allison, who were preparing to take some baby emus for a stroll.
I don't know what's more amazing, the fact that we're walking around 1 month old emus, or that there's like kangaroos 10 feet away.
Emu babies, they imprint on humans. So they'll follow you. But now they're a month old, they get like, I'll run this direction, you'll run that direction.
Ron, tell me a bit about what it's like to be a docent.
I handle all different types of animals. Then for every animal that you want to handle, you have to be certified on. So I'm handling emus, I'm handling the mandarin duck, I'm also training on a Cape Barren goose. And so it's every day, it's like I get to handle animals. This is Lynn. This one doesn't have a name yet.
Hey, Lynn.
Oh,
Whoa, you going after my wedding ring? You're smart, you go right for the gold.
Anything shiny. Anything shiny they're gonna go for.
If you have a passion for helping animals and you love sharing your knowledge about them, then the Staten Island Zoo encourages you to apply for their docent program. It's a great place for aspiring zoologists and veterinarians, and there's even a program for high schoolers who want to become junior docents. But what does it all cost?
So I know there's a lot of zoos out there that have programs like this, and it's a few $100s. What does it cost to do it here at the Staten Island Zoo?
It's nothing here other than buying your uniform. That's it. That's all we are going to charge you.
Want to talk to and about the animals? Then maybe being a docent is for you. Maybe nature is the right department, but you're more into flora than fauna. We've got you covered. Just 20 minutes away from the zoo and covering more than 2,800 acres is the Staten Island Greenbelt. This tremendous area of parkland offers a surprising deep woods experience, along with wetlands, meadows, and wildlife.
It's a combination of multiple parks all in the center of Staten Island.
I would imagine this is also probably a good place to go birding.
Oh, birding, you can see turtles, we have deer, we have everything here, so.
Wild turkeys? I heard there's wild turkeys on Staten Island.
There's wild turkeys, but I haven't seen any wild turkeys here in the Greenbelt.
Besides all of the great reasons to visit the Greenbelt for recreation, assisting with upkeep can be just as enjoyable.
That looks like fun.
The work of keeping this place in pristine condition is shared by the New York City Parks Department and the folks at the Greenbelt Conservancy. But without volunteers, the maintenance of this natural space would be pretty tricky.
The Greenbelt is a big place, and I'm sure there's plenty of maintenance that needs to be done. How do you keep this safe and accessible to the public?
Well, we do it. We have crews that work with us, but we really rely a lot on volunteers to come out. They do trail restoration, they do tree plantings. We also have events where people come out and help us. But most of the time it's some type of forest or trail restoration. They're also our eyes. They go out and they tell us if a tree is down, if there's trip hazards, if something has changed because of a storm. When a tree comes down, it might take out a whole trail. And then they come out and help us reroute the trail.
So what can I do to help today?
Today you're going to help us install cribbing, and it helps with erosion, which is a problem.
Okay, so it sounds like what I'm going to be doing is pretty important.
Yeah, it's very important.
We should get to it then.
Yeah, go.
There's a ditch in the road.
There's a ditch in the road.
And that's why I'm here today, to help with the trails. With 35 miles of color-coded and varied level trails, there's a lot of work to do to keep them safe and hikeable.
Jeannie, I'm here today. Let me do the work. Let me do the hard work. A lot of different Staten Island neighborhoods butt up against the Greenbelt. Do you see a lot of locals take pride in this park?
Oh, yeah. We'll get volunteers from Brooklyn, New Jersey, upstate, because they love working in the woods. It's like their own little backyard.
Well, now we're gonna put the dirt in. I cheated. I was watching how they did the other one.
Just to make sure I'm doing this right, Christina Perdos from the Parks Department is guiding me through the process.
That's about it. We'll make sure it's secure. Can dance on it. It's good, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Is it staking time here?
Yeah, I think it's taking time.
Okay.
Although this step is done, the process is never complete. There's always something to do at the Greenbelt.
Looks pretty good.
Nice job.
One down, many more to go. So get out here and volunteer on the Staten Island Greenbelt. And for more information on how you could do that, check this out.
Get in touch with nature and lend a hand at the Greenbelt. The trees are waiting for you. Kayla Walker knows all things stylish in New York City. It's no surprise she found a fashion-forward way to volunteer.
I like giving back as much as the next person, but I love it when I can combine my passion with service. And I'm a girly girl. I'm all about fashion and trends. Perfect for this place. It may not look like much from the outside, but wait till you see what's in store. Located at 129 28th Street in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, is Housing Works' newest location, By the Bag. At this unique outlet, you get a bag, dig through massive bins of clothes and accessories, fill said bag, and pay one price, $25. Now that's what I call retail therapy. But what's cooler than that? The massive team of volunteers that make this place tick.
There is no way that we could do what we do without volunteers, and we need them across all areas of our organization. But especially here at By the Bag, we actually rely on volunteers to help us run the store and do all of our daily duties.
Now, from what I understand, volunteers have a special name.
We call them retail advocates.
I like it. Okay, well, I'm here. What can I do?
All right, well, I have the bin right behind me. We need to sort clothes and get them to the selling floor.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
So we get all these things directly from the warehouse, and some of the items aren't what the customers want to buy, like a towel or a sheet or a blanket. So we just sort through.
So we're just pulling them out?
Just pull the clothes out and just get them right into the bin here. And just if we find anything that's, not really what customers are looking for, we just pull that stuff out.
This all seems good. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks really good. Oh, how about that? Animal print.
Besides sorting, volunteers help customers find items, run the register, and generally maintain the whole place. just like the other Housing Works stores around the city. The first Housing Works thrift store opened in 1995 to raise money for New Yorkers living with HIV and AIDS. Today, there are over a dozen locations, all run by volunteers like Otis Hemmings.
Housing Work is a safe place. In my own words, it's a safe place, meaning you can go there and you won't have to be judged. You won't have to worry about anyone looking at you differently. It's a healing community.
My mother, I actually lost her a few years ago, and she was suffering from the AIDS virus, and she was a part of the program. I know that the revenue that they make in the thrift stores makes up for a large quantity of the programs that they provide, so being a part of that definitely does make me feel good.
What kind of pieces can you find here?
Well, it all depends. You know, it's somewhat random, but you can find anything from a J. Crew to even potentially a Louis Vuitton bag. It all depends on what comes through, and you have to kind of hunt for it.
Yes, it's all about the hunt. And volunteering here gets you rewarded. Volunteer 4 hours a week, helping those in need, and you get a 25% discount off shopping. Can you say no-brainer? All of this volunteering, I think I'm gonna go do a little shopping and buy the bag for myself.
That would be great. Let's start with this bag.
Yes.
Fill it up.
Okay, I saw some goodies in here, so I'm just gonna start right here. Look at this. It's a matching set. Gonna put that in the bag. These are designer jeans. Designer jeans. Ooh. Now this would be perfect for Dave. Whether you're sorting bins or buying the bag, you're making a difference at Housing Works.
All this good work could make anybody hungry, and now we're at an organization that serves thousands of meals a week that feed both the body and the soul. God's Love We Deliver is located on 6th Avenue and Spring Street in Soho. Since 1985, this charity kitchen has prepared millions of healthy meals for sick and homebound New Yorkers. Amazingly, it all started with one person during the height of the nation's AIDS epidemic.
God's Love started with one woman delivering groceries. She was a hospice worker, and she put the groceries on the counter and got into a conversation with the guy she was visiting who was unfortunately dying of AIDS. And she went back the next day to check on him, and those groceries were still sitting there on the counter. When you're that sick, you don't need groceries, you need meals, and people taking care of you and helping to get you what you most need. And from that point, she was one woman who kept delivering on her bicycle, and she would recruit all these people to come and volunteer.
Since then, God's Love has expanded their mission to deliver nutritious meals to New Yorkers with all kinds of illnesses. And there's a big team of volunteers who help to make that happen.
There are about 8,000 people a year who volunteer with us, and they make all the difference. They prep the food, they pack it into meal containers, they go on our delivery vans, some do walking deliveries, and they work in our offices. Our volunteers tell us regularly that they get so much more than they give.
God's Love has also been a godsend to sick New Yorkers with limited access and limited funds to fresh, well-prepared, healthy food.
But you know, some people will be eating all kind of stuff and make the health worse.
And this is
Both
delicious and nutritious food?
Yes.
Brenda comes in 3 days a week as a devoted kitchen volunteer, never missing a week. What does it mean as a New Yorker helping other New Yorkers?
You need to help because some people can't help themselves. And you will get it all back in your lifetime. Just give, and it will be given back to you one way or the other.
The folks at God's Love We Deliver aim to make life a little sweeter for their clients. In fact, 22-year God's Love veteran and baker Chuck specializes in making birthday cakes not only for the client, but also their children and their caretakers. So that's a beautiful cake going out to Alma for her birthday.
This is for Alma, and I like to think about the name.
That's special.
It's very special. I think we get the most correspondence from our clients about their birthday cakes. And there was one guy who wrote a full-page letter
And he went on and on of how this was the first birthday cake he's ever gotten.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, we take it for granted that we get a birthday cake, you know, but it's not the case for a lot of people. It's maybe not the healthiest thing, but it really lifts your spirits, and that helps you with your health a lot.
I'm with you on that one.
You know, on this show, I'm used to asking business owners, what can I get for $9.99? In this case, what are you getting from me if I were to donate $9.99?
You'd be buying the food for about 5 meals, or you would be buying the entire experience of getting somebody a meal, from the nutritionists who speak to our clients, to the purchasing of the food, the preparing it, the cooking it, the getting it on the van, the gas in the van, the people who go and ring your doorbell, everything from top to bottom for your $9.99.
It's a good value.
Great value.
If helping to feed people is your passion, God's Love We Deliver has opportunities available 6 days a week. When it comes to healthy meals, a great place to start is in the garden, or if you have the space, on the farm. The Queens County Farm Museum is located near the Long Island border in Floral Park, Queens, and offers an organic haven for the garden lover. At 47 acres, it boasts one of the largest farms in the 5 boroughs. Another impressive fact, the land has been used as a farm since 1697, making it the longest continuously farmed land in New York State. But how is the Farm Museum an important educational tool?
The most important thing, just fundamentally for New York City kids, is to have an opportunity to see open space, to see how food is grown. Even though we are a very small-scale farm, the principles in organic agriculture that are practiced here are the same on larger scales too. So kids can come and see lettuce growing in the field and then make that connection between what they see in the ground and what they see in the supermarket.
With a small staff, the Queens County Farm relies heavily on its team of dedicated volunteers to keep the farm producing, well, produce.
We have about 3 acres under production for organic vegetables and fruit and flowers. And we would not be the farm that we are without our volunteers. The volunteers definitely help out with initial weeding and bed preparation, transplanting.
And a lot of that maintenance deals with a nuisance common to most gardeners.
Mostly weeding. weeding. This is an organic farm, so it's mostly weeding.
With an organic system, it's hard to keep the weeds down because we use no sprays of any kind.
Getting the plant beds free of weeds can be hard work, but when it's time for volunteers to harvest their favorite lettuce or herb, the fruits of their labor make it worthwhile.
The produce here goes a number of different places. We have an on-site farm stand, which we're really excited about. It's seasonal. We're also at Union Square Green Market every Friday, and that's year-round. And then we serve a lot of different restaurants in the city, which is exciting, and we're very happy to share excess produce with people who help out on the farm.
Some volunteers make the hike deep into Queens because of the unique opportunities of farming in a big city.
Most people have, a pot on their windowsill or something on their fire escape. So to be able to come and see a 200-foot long bed and to cultivate it is pretty unique. Also, what's really special is that even though we're doing things on a large scale, everything that we can do can be applied to something that you're doing on your kitchen windowsill or in your backyard or on your deck. I think that for a lot of people to have a direct connection to where their food comes from is special.
I want to learn how to grow organically and learn how to sustain my own family from the land, and I think this is a great starting point.
To watch the plants grow from seedling into an edible plant is just wonderful. I think this is the best kept secret in all of New York City, really. I find it wonderful.
What's the prerequisite to coming here to volunteer?
No prerequisite, as long as you're over the age of 16. We have people from all different backgrounds and skill sets and interests coming to volunteer.
What also makes volunteering at the farm unique is that volunteer hours are flexible.
Every Tuesday and Sunday we have open volunteer days from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And so it's totally drop-in. They can show up when they want and help out in our vegetable operation.
Kenan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a great place you have here.
Good to meet you.
And for more information on how you could volunteer at the Queens County Farm Museum, check this out.
If planting organic produce on terra firma is for you, then tranquil pastures await at the Queens County Farm Museum.
There is nothing better than the feeling you get at the end of a day of doing some good. So let's look back at the different ways you can go volunteer around the city.
New York City parks come in all shapes and sizes, and there's always opportunities to volunteer. Becoming a docent at the Staten Island Zoo is a great way to teach the public about animals. The Staten Island Greenbelt offers you the opportunity to go into the woods and help maintain this amazing green space. If fashion and shopping is your style, Housing Works offers the chance for you to give your time. Food feeds the soul, and God's Love We Deliver makes a great place to help those battling tough illnesses. And if tilling the earth and farming the land is your speed, then the Queens County Farm Museum has a shovel and a rake waiting for you.
So it just goes to show you don't have to spend a single penny to have a great time in New York City. You just gotta get out there and do it. Go volunteer. For $9.99, I'm Dave Evans. I'll see you next time.
This is for our pancake tortoise. So you can pick up the box and you can put him right in front of his salad.
Pick up the box?
And just move it to the side.
Where is he?
I'm sorry, somebody has him.
He's really flat.
I'm sorry.
This isn't so bad.
Whoops.
And what is she doing?
Biting your butt, it looks like.